Here is the fully functional to-do app, and here is a good styling of the CSS, and here is the input box where we can add the tasks. So whenever we adds the task, then it's got added in this, and whenever we hovers over there, then it's changing the background across, and whenever we clicks on this, then it is got checked, and whenever we re-click on this, then it is normal, and we can also remove these tasks by clicking on cross. And so here is that. So let's get to the code. So here we are in our VS Code, and we have created two files that are HTML and CSS file. So here is the basic structure for that we have already created, and we have also added some of the properties, CSS properties for that that will be applicable for all the elements. So let's create a div named container, and we will also give some CSS for that. First, for the width, we will give it 100%, and the next will be the height, that will be 100 VH, and we will also give the background image background, that will be, for the background we will use the linear gradient color, and we will give it 135 degree, and two colors, that is, and this. And we will also give some padding for that, that will be 10 pixel, and then get back to the code, and we will create a div name, and here will we give the name to do app, and we will use s2 tag for that, and we will write here to do app, and we will also insert the image here, and the image we have taken already placed in the same folder, and we will use this image, this icon. So let's get uh, let do give some CSS for that, and we will do this. We will give the width of 100%, and the max width will be 540 pixel, and the background will be white, and we will give margin, that will be 100 pixel, and auto, and 20 pixel. The padding we will use here will be 40 pixel, and 30 pixel and 70 pixel. And for making the border round at corners, we will use the border radius of 10 pixel. So let's check the code on live server, and it currently looks like that. Now we will also give some CSS for. We will also give some styling for that SP tag. So we will copy this. Then for SP, we will use the color that will be the color, and we will use display flex. We are using the flex display to aligning the all the images, icons, and the tags. So we will align those items center, and we will give the margin to the margin to bottom of 20 pixel, and we will also in H2 tag there is also an image that and for that we will also give some styling, and for that we will first copy that code, and then for mg image, and the width will be 30 pixel, and the margin for left we will give the margin to the left of 10 pixel. Now we will get back to the HTML file, and we will now create a uh, div of row class, and here we will also give a input box. The type will be text, and uh, we will give the ID that will be input box, and we will use a placeholder, and here we will use the text that will be add your task. Now we will give the styling for that row that we have created for input box, then dot row, and the display will be flex, and we'll align all the items to the center, and justify content to the space between, and the background will be of that color, and the border ratios of 30 pixel, and the padding to left will be 20 pixel, and the margin bottom of 25 pixel. Now we will also add a button here, then we will use the text add, and let's check how what will be our result. Now our code looks like that, and we will further work on it. So for this input box, we will use some styling to make it more uh, attractive and more viewable. So we will use input styling for that. The flags will be 1, and the border we will give it none, and outline also will be none, and the background will be transparent, and we will give a padding of 10 pixels. Check how our uh, input box is looking, and now we will add some CSS for this add button, and for that uh, we will give it some CSS. Then for this button we will use the same border and outline, and we will give a padding of 16 pixel and 50 pixel. The background with the color code of this, and the color will be white, and the font size we will use font size of 16 pixel, and the cursor pointer we will use the border radius of 40 pixel, and now we can see how beautiful our input box and the button is looking, and now we will create a now we will create an unordered list with the ID of list container, and let's give a text of task 1, and copying that, and that will be the task 2. So here we are entering the list that here we are manually giving the text of that task for giving it some CSS. Then for later we will use JavaScript for that. So for that example, we will use the CSS for this unordered list. We will use the list style, that will be none, and the font size will be 17 pixel. The padding will be 12 pixel, 8 pixel, 12 pixel, and 50 pixel. And we will use the user select none, and cursor cursor will be pointer, and for this we will also use a pseudo element of before, and give a content that will be a string, and position will be absolute, and we will give it a height of 28 pixel and width of 28 pixel. The border radius we will use here will be 50%, and the background we will use a background image with the URL that will be the unchecked PNG. So let's check how our code is looking, and it's like here you can also enter some text. So we will further give more CSS to that, and that will be we will use a background size that will be covered, and the background position at center. So here we have used position absolute. So now we will use the position at UL and list that will be relative. And now the top will be at 12 pixel, and the left at 8 pixel. So there are circles in front of the task, and for now we will give a class to that will be the checked. Now we will give some styling to this check class, and we will use this color, uh, and the decoration text decoration will be the line, and we will also give this same class with pseudo element of report, and now the background image will be in check. Maybe we will use check PNG and the results. So here the checked task will be look like that, and here is the friends. Now we will comment these tasks that we have entered manually. Then we will use JavaScript to input these tasks, and for that we will just um, and for that we will comment these tasks, and we will create a file of JavaScript named script.js. And we will join this script to HTML. And for that, we will use script src and the name of the file. And now we will create some variables of like that const input box, and we will get this by document dot get element by uh, id, and we will use the id for that input box, and we will use another variable of name list container for these unordered lists, and we will get the get element by id list container. Uh, Now we will give it a we will use on click and give it a function of add. Now we will create function for that, and that will be function add task. Now we will also have to give this same name. We will use this function whenever we click the button. So for that, input box value. So according to that, whenever the input box will be the empty, then we will alert the user by giving this text as alert. And for this else condition, we will use this. So for the else condition, if we have given some written some task, then it will create a new element of li, and the inner HTML has been used for this input box value. So let's check how our code is looking, and it's the same. And then so now the list container will append sorry. So the value and the task will be also added by this property append child, and now we will create span and create another element span. And in my HTML, and we will use this sign. So, this is a symbol for this. This is a symbol for the cross, and now we will also append whenever the element is created. So let's check how it is looking. So here are the results. That is high, and so here whenever we are adding some text or the task, then it creates a new element and attaches to that. And as we have used the third task, task task 3, then it is adding to the third place and appending whenever we are giving some task and adding it with this button. So let's give some CSS to this cross symbol. So let's give this styling to the span. And for that, the position will be absolute, and right will be at 0, and top with the 5 pixel. This we have used here will be 40 pixel, and the height will be of 40 pixel. The font size will be 20 pixel, and the color we have used here is with this code, and the line height of 40 pixel. And we will align the text at center. Let's give some CSS. So let's give some CSS to so whenever we hovers at the span tag, then we will show this styling. The background will be something like grays, and we will use this color code. And let's check. So here we can check what we have done with this span, and the whenever we are hovering over that, then it is changing its background color. So now we will style this for making it in circle. So we will add the border radius of 50%. Now we can check it is changing the background in a circle. add an event listener. So we are using this if condition. So whenever we clicks on the li, then it will Google checked, and whenever we clicks on this span, then it will remove this the whole task that we have entered. So now we can check here. So we have added a task. Then if we are clicking on this, then it is removing the whole element. Now, as we can check, then if we check the results, then there some tasks. Then whenever we clicks on that, it shows the checked but icon and shows this. And whenever we clicks on span, then it removes that element. So whenever so here. So whenever we refreshes this page, then it automatically deletes the task. So we will use a function for that, where we will store the data. So the functions, so we will use the show data function of showing the data. Now for that we will use the function uh, save data and this something about inner HTML. So as of this code, then we have created a function named save data where we will save the data to prevent the data loss. That is, whenever we create the task, then whenever we refreshes the page, then it automatically removes these tasks. So we will use this, and we will also use in this function and call save data here, and here. Now, uh, so whenever the data is stored in this local storage, then we will also need to fetch this data. So we will also create another function to show named show data, show task, where we will show these tasks that has been stored in the function save data. So list container, inner HTML, local storage, get get item data. Uh, it is also in, I have a mistake, done mistakes, and it is wrong. So here we will not get data, we will set data here in this function. So here we will set data, no, set item, and of list container. So in the save data function, we will set the item that is in the list container, and in the show task, we will get the data from the local storage. So we will use this function call here at the end, and let's check the code. So as we can see, whenever we are adding something, then if we reloads the page, then it's automatically fetches that saves the data and fetches the saved data here. So our Furi functional code is ready to work, and so that's it for the day.